Hello. I had an idea for my podcast. It's a little bit different to other people's. So, yeah, I'm going to do a wee song and then I'm going to tell you a wee bit about what my podcast is about. When you take it slow and the night is yours alone, and you're sure you've had enough of this life, well, hang on. Don't let yourself go, 'cause everybody cries. Everybody cries sometimes. Sometimes everything is wrong. Now it's time to sing along when your day is night alone. Hold on, feel like letting go. Hold on, think you've had enough of this life. Well, hang on, 'cause everybody hurts. Take comfort in your friends. Everybody hurts. Don't throw in your hands. Don't throw your hands. You feel like you're alone. No, 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 you're not alone. You're on your own in this life, days and nights alone. If you think you had too much of this life, well, hang on. Well, everybody hurts. Sometimes everybody cries. Everybody hurts sometimes. Welcome. We're going to sit around and have a cup of tea. I didn't bring any tea with me. But anyway, my podcast today is we're all going to sit around and quite a few years ago now, I got a mortgagee letter that was outside and it was outside my control at the time. And I opened the letter and I looked at it and I went, what the hell? What is this? I'm not even aware of the fact that we were in default on the house. So at the time, it was a huge shock. I had sold real estate for quite a number of years, so I kind of knew a bit about law and equity and all that kind of stuff in the house, but at that very precise point in time, I was absolutely shocked. And I sat there for a few minutes thinking, what am I meant to do? I've got 2 little boys, and this is the only house that we have. This is the only place that we live, and I don't know what to do. Anyway, so I sat there like a stunned mullet for a bit, and then I thought, and I went, hey, universe, just give me a hand. I'm feeling really down. I don't know what to do. And just after I did that, the weirdest thing happened. The phone rang, and it was the real estate agent that the bank had enlisted to sell the house. And he said to me, why are you letting this happen? And I went, I didn't think I had any choice. And he goes, no, you've got really good equity in your home. You've always got a choice. And I went, okay, cool. Okay. So I was looking through the local paper, and I saw a ad there for a agent, a mortgage broker that we had utilised when we decided to buy a second property that we had since sold. We'd actually moved back into the smaller of the 2 houses because the big one was never my house. It was never home. This was home. This is where the boys had come when they were tiny. So we'd lived there for a long, long time. Anyway, so I looked at the mortgage broker's name and I rang him. And I remember this was the weekend, and he answered, and I told him what was going on. See, what initially had happened is that my then husband had a huge breakdown, unbeknownst to me. He'd been hiding these letters, and until I got that actual letter that I found, I didn't have any clue what was going on. Even though I had told the bank at the time, he was suffering from quite a mental illness at the time, and they needed to contact me if anything was untoward, but they hadn't. Initially, the amount owed was $10,000, which in the grand scheme of a house ownership, it's not a lot. So when I told the mortgage broker what was going on, he said, okay, let's get together on Monday. So I went, fine, thank you. And I said, do you think you'll be able to help me out? And he goes, we'll give it a good shot, won't we? So that was cool. I went down and I sat with him on Monday, and we went through the equity in the house. We went through what was owed, the extra. And he said to me, you probably can't get a loan with the bank you're with. So we'll have to look outside the square and potentially get a bridging loan. It's going to cost you a bit of money. I went, okay. Now, the really sad thing about where my mortgage was at the time was it was actually with the BNZ. I'd worked for the BNZ for 6 years. Okay. I had gone through the ranks, and then I decided to leave to become a real estate agent. So, I knew banking, and I felt it really sad that that bank was putting the kibosh on me and making me lose my house, in essence. So we went to talked all about what we were going to do to save the house, and he sent away the application to a different financial institution. The mortgage was going to be really high. It's like upwards of 18% to 20%. I can't remember now, but I needed to get that loan for 3 months to show that I could pay it before I'd be able to go and approach another bank if we managed to save the house. Okay. So I remember I remember the agent that was selling my house having open homes, and I decided I wasn't leaving for these open homes because this was my home and I didn't want anyone else having it. So I had a friend come over one day and we sat on the deck and we just sat there and watched the people file in that were kind of looking forward to the house going to mortgagee auction. It was hard. It was really hard facing these people and going, "Ain't having my house. Sorry, it's mine." I then also decided to email the banking ombudsman. I didn't know what that was going to achieve, but I'm like, the BNZ didn't listen to me. They didn't take any notice of the fact that I had said, "You need to phone me if anything happens," because he does have this mental illness. I think he was chronically depressed at the time, not just suffering depression, but everything was just too much for him. But they hadn't contacted me. And when I finally got hold of the bank, I said to them, "Did you not have my cell number? Did you not have my email address?" And they went, "Oh, yes, we had it." I said, "Well, why didn't you contact me? I'd asked you to contact me." "Oh, but," and I said, "But my name's on the title too. It's not just in one name." And they went, "Oh, yeah, that's true." So anyway, I'd contacted the banking ombudsman. The day of the mortgagee sale came. It was a Wednesday. It's funny what you remember, isn't it? And I was in my car doing my work. So I was over at Wairau Park on the North Shore. My house was in West Auckland. It was 11:45 and my phone rang. And it was the bank telling me that the ombudsman had upheld my appeal and there would be no mortgagee sale. And I was like, whoa, breathe, 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 breathe. It was really, 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 it was just mind-numbing. So then we're scrambling to get the mortgage together to save the house. I think I had 10 days. About day 8, I had a bridging finance offer, which was 50K more than I originally had a loan for, but you had to take it. Now, I had a bad debt racked up against my name that at the time my then husband had decided to put my cell number on a shop that he was opening in conjunction with 2 Degrees. It's a prepaid cell phone. I'd never had a plan on it. And then I have a $200 debt registered against my name because no one paid the bill. That's pretty crap, isn't it? So we had to go to the lawyer, and she made him sign an affidavit in front of her to say that that's exactly what he'd done, and the debt wasn't mine. So the really good thing was when these young guys came round, they were young, they were like 20, came round to tell me that they would give me a loan, but they wanted to know why I had a bad debt against my name. I could actually show them the letter and everything was square and it was great. So lucky, so lucky. Anyway, so we got the loan through, and 3 months later, I was able to go to the ASB and I was able to get a loan to cover the mortgage, which became a lot cheaper. The next thing was how proud my kids were of me. It was just beautiful. They were so happy that their mum had managed to rally and save the house. And the funny thing is, I knew all about finance and stuff, but my ex was an accountant. So he liked to do the bills and I just let him. You should never let them. You should always look after your own stuff. You should make sure that you can maintain interest in your interest, is what I guess I'm saying. And after that, the kids had another 6 years in the house, I think, at least. My youngest did anyway. And at the end of the time, I had an asset to sell. It cost me a lot more, but I had an asset to sell, and that was a really great thing. I had no bankruptcy against my name, which was so important to me, and managed to sell a house. And then, of course, I had to give half of that to my now ex-husband, because after all of that, I was like, well, if you're going to be telling me fibs about what's going on with the house, what else aren't you telling me? And I needed to look after my kids, and there wasn't a hell of a lot of money to go around, but made it work. I mean, if you can make your own bread, you can make a nice steak sandwich if you buy some cheaper steak and it's not going too far. There's so much you can do to look after your stuff. But I think this was more to tell you girls can do a lot of stuff. You just got to put your mind to it and go with it. And be like me, save your house. So I'm going to finish with a song. And we're not doing any of my songs today, so we'll find you a pretty song, maybe that one. It's a pretty song. So this is Podcasting My Way, and that has been how I saved my house. And and I think this goes here. A little Eagles song, just for fun. It's another tequila sunrise, staring slowly across the sky. I said goodbye. He was just a hired hand, working on the dreams he planned to try. The days go by. Every night when the sun goes down, just another lonely boy in town. She's out running round. Wasn't just another woman, and he couldn't keep from going on. It's been so long. Oh, it's a hollow feeling when it comes down to dealing friends. It never ends. Take another shot of courage. Wonder why the right words never come. You just get numb. It's another tequila sunrise. This old world still looks the same. Never afraid. Every night when the sun goes down, just another lonely boy in town. She's out running round. She wasn't just another woman, and he couldn't keep from coming on. It's been so long. Oh, it's a hollow feeling when it comes down to dealing friends. Never ends. Take another shot of courage. Wonder why the right words never come. You just get numb. It's another tequila sunrise. This old world still looks the same. Another frame. Thanks for coming along. Next time I'll bring a drink. I feel. And you look back. I'll see you soon. I've been Kerryn. Bye.